Good Friday, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Conversations Daily News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. Well, we made it to the end of another week. We, of course, have your news headlines coming up on this Friday. We have the truth of the day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and we have part of my conversation with my 500th guest of 2021, actor Acorye White. Enjoy today's broadcast. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Friday headlines. In national news, Trump Organization CFO indicted on tax fraud charges. Donald Trump's company and its longtime finance chief were charged on Thursday in what prosecutors called a sweeping and audacious tax fraud scheme in which the executive collected more than $1.7 million in off-the-books compensation, including apartment rent, car payments, and school tuition. Trump himself was not charged with any wrongdoing, but prosecutors noted he signed some of the checks at the center of the case, and one top prosecutor said the 15-year-old scheme was orchestrated by the most senior executives at the Trump Organization. It is the first criminal case to come out of New York authorities' 2-year investigation into the former president's business dealings. According to the indictment from 2005 through this year, the Trump Organization and Chief Financial Officer Allen Weisselberg cheated tax authorities by conspiring to pay executives off the books by way of lucrative fringe benefits and other means. Weisselberg alone was accused of defrauding the federal government, state and city out of more than $900,000 in unpaid taxes and undeserved tax refunds. The most serious charge against Weisselberg, grand larceny, carries 5 to 15 years in prison. The tax fraud charges against the company are punishable by a fine of double the amount of unpaid taxes of $250,000, whichever is larger. The 73-year-old Weisselberg has intimate knowledge of the Trump Organization's financial dealings from nearly 5 decades at the company. The charges against him could enable prosecutors to pressure him to cooperate with the investigation and tell them what he knows. Both Weisselberg and lawyers for the Trump Organization pleaded not guilty. In more national news, waiting is unbearable. Biden consoles Surfside families. President Joe Biden drew on his own experiences with grief and loss to comfort families affected by the Florida condo collapse, telling them to never give up hope, even as the search for survivors paused early Thursday, a week after the building came down. Addressing some of the families touched by the tragedy, Biden spoke in deeply personal terms as he offered his prayers and support in the private meeting. "I just wish there was something I could do to ease the pain," he said in a video posted on Instagram by a woman who was close to a couple and their daughter who is still missing. Few public figures connect as powerfully on grief as Biden, who lost his first wife and baby daughter in a car collision and later an adult son to brain cancer. In the first months of his term, he has drawn on that empathy to console those who have lost loved ones, including the more than 600,000 who have died in the COVID-19 pandemic. In a quiet voice, freighted with emotion, Biden on Thursday described his own despair at having to wait to find out about how his family fared after a crisis like the one experienced in Surfside. He spent more than 3 hours privately speaking with those grieving, addressing the group first, and then moving family to family to listen to their stories. In more national news, Pelosi names GOP's Cheney to panel investigating January 6 riot. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi on Thursday named Republican Representative Liz Cheney to a new select committee on the violent January 6 insurrection at the Capitol, elevating the most unyielding GOP critic of former President Donald Trump to work alongside 7 Democrats on the high-profile investigation. Representative Benny Thompson, chairman of the House Homeland Security Committee, will lead the panel, which will investigate what went wrong around the Capitol when hundreds of Trump supporters broke into the building. In business news, U.S. jobless claims fall to 364,000, a new pandemic low. The number of Americans applying for unemployment aid fell again last week to the lowest level since the pandemic struck last year, further evidence that the job market and the broader economy are rebounding rapidly from the coronavirus recession. The Labor Department reported on Thursday that jobless claims dropped by 51,000 to 364,000. Applications for unemployment benefits have fallen more or less steadily since the year began. The rollout of vaccines has sharply reduced new COVID-19 cases, giving consumers the confidence to shop, travel, eat out, and attend public events as the economy recovers. And finally, in more business news, Wall Street hits another record, Energy stocks and banks gain. Stocks finished broadly higher on Wall Street Thursday, adding to the gains that helped the market close at its best first half of a year since the dot-com bubble. The S&P 500 rose 0.5%, marking its sixth straight gain and fourth consecutive record high. The price of U.S. crude oil rose more than 2%, giving a boost to energy companies. Bond yields edged higher and helped lift bank stocks. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's now time for the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich. Mary Ellen, take it away.
Hi, this is Mary Ellen with your Truth of the Day. Sit with your sadness. I know the last thing anyone wants to hear when going through a period of great sadness is, you will learn something from this. Or, look at the bright side. In the midst of a tremendously painful situation, you really don't care about the bright side, because the overwhelming feeling of pain you are feeling is too exhausting to even begin an examination of what is happening. You feel disappointed, angry, fearful, picked on by life, and let down by God. Sitting with sadness takes the courage to believe you can bear the pain and the faith to know you will come out on the other side. Courage and faith will allow you permission to grieve and walk through your sadness. After you sit with your sadness and experience it, understand the powerful teaching tool sadness has to offer. Now you can choose to surrender and accept the change you are going through. Today, feel your own sadness while you have compassion for others experiencing the same thing. And remember, enjoy your day.
Acorye White was my 500th guest of 2021. Here's a bit of my conversation from him from Conversations Live. For Conversations Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with the Entertainment Spotlight. Actor Acorye White joined me recently on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about his extraordinary career and the journey that led him to where he is today. Here's a bit of our conversation. What has it been like for you to kind of see how your hard work is paying off for you right now?
Sometimes it's still surreal to me because, I feel like as people, whatever we say and believe and work towards, that's what happens. So I'm still trying to grasp, that feeling for it, because for me it was just, hard work paid off, and I was more happy to see my grandmother happy about it, and that's what drives me and motivates me. She's very big in my life, and just seeing the happiness from her and that positive light on our family, it made a world of a difference for me.
And I think, the interesting thing is that, this is something, like you said, that you've been able to do, and you've been able to share this experience with some amazing people. I mean, do you still have those wow moments at this point, Acorye, of the people you've been able to work with, and the people who are recognizing your work?
I do. Believe it or not, I'm still shocked at some of the people I worked with, because, you grow up as kids, you watch them. I never wanted to be an actor as a kid. I just learned all the movies in the house. But now that I'm working with these people and seeing like the level of expertise that they bring to what they do, it's an amazing feeling. Like once you actually are in the moment and you recognize, the achievement of where you've become.
What was it like for you to be able to not only to do what you love, Acorye, but also to share the stage with people that love it as well?
It was, that one was intense for me, that movie, because I gave up football to do acting, and my only thing was I wanted to be in a football movie that was based on a true story and play a running back and have it come out in theaters. And exactly, again, what I spoke came to fruition.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning in to this edition of Conversations Daily News. But we'll have you guys on Monday with more news, Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and of course your Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Daily News today. Let's make it a great one.